What's up, y'all? Cece back with another video. I'm just a regular girl trying to live a fit girl's lifestyle. So if that is you, if you love that concept and girl, you're trying to live it with me, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, click the notification bell, and also follow me on the socials so you don't miss a single upload. Now let's get into this video. So if you're in a calorie deficit right now and you're dreaming about French fries, girl, me too. Me too. Dreaming about French fries, bread, all of it. All right. But if that's you, this video is for you. Today we're going to talk about how to actually survive the calorie deficit. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I like dry chicken and rice. That's not my ministry. But we're going to talk about how to actually make it sustainable and how you actually survive it so you can eventually get to that maintenance stage. This is going to give some realistic and practical advice where you're not going to feel like you are starving. You're going to be able to keep your energy up and you're not going to crash and burn after 3 days. Because trust me, I've been there. So let's get into it. So quick science moment. What is a calorie deficit? It's very simple. It's energy in versus energy out. So how many calories you're consuming versus how many calories you are burning. In order to be in a deficit, you want to be consuming less calories than what you're burning. That's the only way you're going to lose weight. That's it. That's the only way you're going to lose fat is if you are consuming less calories than what you are burning. How do you figure that out? I have an entire video on that. I give you guys the website that I use and all of that, and I show you how to walk through it. So I will link that video right up here so you guys can check that out. But it's a very simple calculation that this website will do for you, okay? They will calculate your maintenance calories and then give you your suggested cut calories. And if you're in a bulk, they'll give you your suggested bulking calories. And so very easy to figure out what a deficit is. Now, the one thing I want to point out is that you don't want to start too low. So a deficit is any calories below your maintenance calories. So if your maintenance calories are 2,000 calories and you start eating 1,900 calories, that's a deficit. You're eating 1,950. That's a deficit. Anything below that 2,000 mark would be a deficit. So try not to get too caught up in the numbers. A moderate sustainable diet will be the crash diet any day. So try to think small, sustainable changes over let's lose 20 pounds in 1 month. Like get that out of your mind. If you do that, that weight's just going to come right back. I promise you. Before we talk strategies, we're going to talk mindset. All or nothing thinking is the quickest way to quit. Shift to something is better than nothing. That is what your mind should be thinking. Consistency is key. And consistency doesn't mean I go to the gym every single day and give 100%. Consistency means I said I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week and I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week. Maybe this week I went 5. Next week, I'm going to go 4. The week after I made it there 6 days. The week after that, I was traveling, so it was only 3 days. But then the week after that, I went back again for 6 days. That is consistency. It's not always going to be 100%. It's not always going to feel good, but you're consistently getting yourself up and continuing with your plan. The scale's going to move slowly. Like, get that through your head. So don't panic. The scale is going to move slowly. Sometimes the scale be moving backwards. Like you're going to gain a pound and you're going to be like, girl, I've been eating this food all week. I've been on my meal plan all week and my deficit all week. What happened? There could be a number of factors why the scale goes up or down. Don't focus too much on the scale. The scale is, I hate the scale and I try not to get on it until I have to, which is when I'm really in a calorie deficit, because that's going to be the easiest way to know if what you're doing is working. But try not to focus too much on the scale because it will definitely make you panic or make you want to quit. And you probably already heard this, but you're not on a diet. This is skills for life. You can go on and off a calorie deficit. So there's going to be times where you're like, I'm just living my life like I was all summer. I'm just living my life. I'm not worried about tracking. I'm not worried worried about what I'm eating. I'm just living my life. Now I'm back on a calorie deficit for probably about 8 to 10 weeks. I'm going to get off of it for a couple weeks and eat at maintenance. And then I'll probably go back on a calorie deficit. I just want to make sure that my body can adjust to these different changes. So you don't want to think about it as I'm on this diet for 8 to 10 weeks, but this is just how your life is going to go. Life fluctuates and your body's going to fluctuate, and you just want to be able to have the tools to keep up with that. All right, let's talk about how we're going to get through this thing, okay? So this is how to not be hangry. I have put these tactics into practice, and trust me, it has taken years to develop a good, healthy relationship with food, but this is how I am not hangry when I'm in a calorie deficit. You're going to eat high volume, low calorie foods. So think like leafy greens. If you're eating a salad, put some more lettuce in that thing, okay? Put some extra vegetables in that thing, okay? Put some banana peppers, put some tomatoes, some extra veggies in there that is just going to boost up the volume, but then still keep your calories low. Another thing good, if you eat eggs all the time, egg whites. Egg whites are great because it boosts up the volume of eggs that you get for very little calories. That is how you're going to get more food for less calories. It also tricks your mind too. When you're looking at a plate with one little piece of chicken and a little scoop of rice or a little scoop of potatoes and some broccoli, you be like, girl, what is this finger food? I need more food than this, right? But if you have a big bowl of salad full of a bunch of greens and colorful vegetables, you're like, oh, this is a lot of food. This is a ton of food. And it helps trick your mind into believing that, yes, this is a lot of food. And I don't even know if it's a trick because it actually is a lot of food, just not as much caloric density. Y'all knew I was going to say it. Protein, 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 protein. Get your protein in every meal. My goal is to try to hit 30 grams of protein in every single meal. Protein will help keep you full, and try to make it natural proteins, like protein that comes from food versus powder proteins and things like that. So I have protein bars every now and then. I will sometimes put powder protein in my coffee, drink protein shakes, but having natural protein that comes from food is always the best. Those protein bars and powders and everything, those are supposed to be supplements, not like the majority of your protein. So try to get the majority of your protein from actual food. Eggs, chicken, Greek yogurt, tofu, if you like. There are so many great foods that are rich in protein. I am such a carnivore, so I love my steaks, okay? I love steaks, and steak has a high volume of protein. Like steak and eggs has been my obsession lately, like filet mignon and eggs, baby. Give it to me every time. And then I'll have like a yogurt. They have those good Chobani, like yogurt, drinkable yogurts. Those are so good, and they're 20 grams of protein. So if I had that plus the steak, plus the eggs with some egg whites in it, which also has a lot of protein, that usually gets me around 70 grams of protein for my first meal of the day without even trying. It's perfect. Plan your meals, girl. Plan those meals out. That is how you can stay on your plan. Plan your meals. If you know what you're eating, it is just robotic that you go get that. Whether you have to meal prep it with it, that's up to you. I am not the hugest fan of meal prepping. I will meal prep like meat sometimes, but I don't meal prep whole meals because I don't like eating microwave food. I just don't. Okay. So but that's me. If you need to meal prep your meals to make it work, meal prep your meals to make it work. But definitely have a plan going into the week. So I plan my meals weekly. That is easiest for me. When we go to the grocery store, I can look and see what we have in the fridge, and then I can just supplement with whatever I need at the grocery store, and I build my meals around whatever I have at home. Now, keep in mind, I cook for a family of 6. I do not cook separate food for myself most of the time. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. So I cook for a family of 6. And so sometimes that's hard to make something that everyone will love. So sometimes our dinners aren't the most healthy, like they'll have more calories, but I have that planned in my mind that I know I'm going to make this maybe calorie rich pasta. So I'm going to make sure the meal that I have before that, my breakfast/lunch, is going to be lower in calories because I know I'm going to have a more calorie rich dinner. So when that's planned out, I can plan my day and say, okay, you can have this calorie rich pasta at the end of the day because you knew that already. Your first meal of the day is going to be a little lower in calories, and you're going to make sure you're watching the snacks that you eat throughout the day in order to still stay in a deficit. So you don't have to just pick and choose boring foods. Like, you can still eat good foods and still stay in your deficit. But girl, you got to plan it out. You want to hydrate like it's your job. Like, drink the water. Okay, drink the water. The water goes everywhere with me. I go nowhere without my water bottle. I have a lot of water bottles, and I'll have a lot of cute water bottles that I want to take with me, okay? So nowhere. I go no single place without the water bottle. There's a water bottle in the car. Like, it just comes with me everywhere because I need to hydrate. And so I try to get in 3 30-ounce jugs of water a day. Most of my water bottles are 30 ounces, which I think this one is 30 or 32. But I try to get in 3 of these every single day, and that's 90 ounces of water. I don't know that you need a gallon of water a day, but if you want to go a gallon, go a gallon. Water is also going to keep you full. The more hydrated you are, the more full you feel, the less you're raiding the pantry for the snacks. Your body also just feels good when it's hydrated with water as well. Do not completely deprive yourself. Don't completely deprive yourself of the foods you love. Oh, you love Starbucks? I can't go to Starbucks now because those coffees are 500 calories. I can't go to Starbucks at all. But then you're going to go eventually, and you're going to binge. You're going to go and you're going to get the 500 calorie coffee, but you're going to get it in a venti because you haven't had it in a while. And then you're also going to get a snack and a treat to go with it, like the apple croissant that I love. You know, you're going to get one of those to go with it, maybe a cake pop, maybe a breakfast sandwich. You know, you're going to start binging if you deprive yourself. So instead of saying, I'm going to get that 500 calorie drink at Starbucks, make healthy swaps in that drink. Maybe it comes with whole milk or 2% milk. Swap it out for almond milk or skim milk or whatever the case, but just make some healthy swaps to the foods you're already eating. So I love my juice, okay? Love my juice. In the last maybe 5 months, I've started drinking 0 calorie juice. Y'all know I love my Olipops, but even Olipops, I've really stopped drinking, and for no particular reason. They're just more expensive, but I get 0 calorie juice and pop, and I have one of those a day, and that is my guilty pleasure. I don't care what nobody say. Okay, I don't care what nobody say. That's my guilty pleasure. It's 0 calories. I think the Minute Maid lemonade is 5 calories, and to me, it don't taste much different. Like, when I drink full sugar drinks, I'm like, ugh, this has so much sugar in it. I can barely drink it. But the 0 calorie swaps, they have made such a big difference in my life, and I literally do not notice, and I reach for those over the regular juice every time. So make small swaps and then you can also build in small treats for yourself. Again, if you have your meals planned out, you'll know how many calories you have left over at the end of the day for those small treats that you want. So just think about that. You can even pre-log your meals into an app like MyFitnessPal, pre-log your meals for the next day. So you like, man, my kid's gonna want to go for ice cream at the end of the day. So if you pre-log your meals and you still got 500 calories left, bing, bang, boom. Get 500 calories worth of ice cream. Enjoy yourself. But you can still stay in your deficit and do that. Now, we talked about this in a previous video, but move your body for energy, not just for calorie burn. Once you get into the mindset that our body should just be in motion, we shouldn't be sitting all day. Even if you have a desk job, we shouldn't be sitting all day. Our body should be in motion. Once you get into that mindset and you're like, I want to take a walk every day. I want to stretch every day and move my body, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Move your body because it feels good, not just because you want a calorie burn. Because that's when it starts to feel like punishment and you're not going to want to do it. All right, a couple traps that you'll get caught up in if you're not paying attention. Make sure you're not going too low on your calories too soon. So if this is your first time doing a calorie deficit or you're not really sure what you're doing, make sure you don't go too low too soon. So my rule of thumb is always 500 calories for me. My maintenance calories are somewhere around 2,300. And right now I am eating in a deficit and I am at 1,850 calories. So that's where I'm sitting right now for my my calorie deficit, but maybe you start off and you say, you know what, 300 calories sounds good for a deficit for now. Let's see how my body feels. Let's see how I'm able to keep up with that and plan at a 300 calorie deficit. And then if you want to go lower, you can go lower from there. I wouldn't recommend going too low, but see how your body feels and then do whatever feels right for you. Try not to obsess over the numbers. Like we talked about before, the scale is going to go up and down. So try not to obsess over the scale too much. I always recommend taking progress photos. Those are much more accurate than the scale. The scale will tell you how much you weigh in that moment on that day, but the progress photos over time, as you look at those, you will see the biggest difference from those pictures. Don't get caught up in the weekend. The weekend, you know what that means? That means we do well Monday through Friday, and then Friday night through Sunday is the weekend and we just fall off. You know what I've come to realize? That's half the damn week. Yeah, that's half the damn week. That never dawned on me probably until about maybe last year, 2 years ago. And I'd be like, man, I'm doing everything right. I'm working out 5 days a week. I'm eating right. I may have a treat here and there on the weekends, but I'm good. No, reality was Friday night through Sunday, I was drinking alcohol a lot more. I was eating whatever I wanted to, coffees, eating out, everything. And I just wasn't keeping up with my calorie deficit. And most of the time on the weekends, I wasn't even moving my body or working out. So that means I did right 4 days out of the week. And then the other 3, which is half the week, I'm doing whatever I want to do. That just negates the first half of the week. Like, think about it like that, and you'll be like, damn, no, I really can't slack off on the weekends. Like, that's not how this works. Like, that is half the week. So the weekend counts. Weekend calories are a thing. I promise you. They're a thing, okay? And they'll show up on you if you keep eating out on the weekends. So when you're planning your week, plan for the weekends. Plan for those weekend activities. Plan to have a cocktail with your girls on Friday night, but plan that into, your meal plan. Make sure you go into it with a plan so you don't go into Friday night girls night having all the fried foods and 6 drinks. You got to plan. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think ahead. So when you go into it with the plan, you don't fall off track as easy. All right. So the big takeaway, a calorie deficit should not feel like prison. Build the meals you actually like. Keep your protein up, make sure you stay hydrated, and plan for your week. It's a very simple formula. A lot harder to execute, but a very simple formula. Consistency over perfection, always. So what's your number 1 tip for surviving a calorie deficit? Let us all know in the comments. What have you been doing to stay on track on your fitness plan? Would love to know what you guys are doing. I also posted a what I eat in a day in my last upload. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you check that out. There are some more great practical tips in there to show you kind of what I'm doing in real time to stay on my grind. If this video helped you out at all, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Again, subscribe, share this video with a friend who needs the tips, and y'all, we all in this together, okay? We are all in this together. So share some of your good stories down below. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.